Next up on the agenda, we're going to be talking about some of the new hole making features within Mastercam 2022. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my Toolpath tab at the top, and under my tool manager we can see that we already have a spot drill loaded in for this demonstration. I'm simply going to green check OK, and I'm going to go to my 2D toolpaths. Under my hole making, we're going to load a simple drill operation. For our drill operation, I'm going to control click on this size hole here. We have our 0.136 diameter hole. What you'll also notice is that not only do I have the top 3 holes, but we also have the same diameter holes selected on this front face. We're going to make this a multi-access toolpath. While we're here, let's go ahead and add a couple more holes to this as well to spot drill. We'll select the ones on that face there. And I'm simply going to green check OK on this. And it's going to take us right into our drill dialog. First thing we're going to do, I like to make sure I have my spot drill selected, and I've got my comment for my spot drill here. Next, we're going to go to our tool axis control, and I want to make sure that this is set for 5 axis here, being that we have those front face holes being spot drilled as well. And next we'll go to our linking parameters. Now, under our linking parameters, we got a couple new features within 2022. I have my automatic linking, and I also have my check collision function down here at the bottom. I want to go ahead and display my collisions. And as we see here, we got a couple different colors on our screen. One, I noticed that these holes here are actually flipped around from the back. Let's hide this dialog, get a better visual of it. So I want to go in there and make some corrections to that. Let's go back to our toolpath type, and let's flip these holes around here. And I'm going to green check OK. So now if I go back to my linking parameters, we can see under our collision check here that these holes have been corrected. If I hide the dialog again, and we still have 2 more collisions being done here. So let's go into the check collision dialog. And under the check collision dialog, we can see over here the state. I actually have a holder collision being done. And for now, I really don't care to see what's reachable, so I'm going to go ahead and shut this off. And we're going to look at the unreachable, which is our holder here, as we can see by the red color defined. I can actually select or click on my drill and drag it side to side to each one of these holes. For now, I'm going to go ahead and drop my tool there, and we're going to look at some of the features that we have here within this check toolpath collision. So I have my tool projection, and I could simply drag this up, drop it down, and you can see that it's automatically going to update the unreachable holder collision that we're getting on our part. But I also have another function here. I can add any kind of holder clearance I want. So I'm going to say maybe 50 thousandths from my holder. And under our projection, we also have this function for optimize projection. As you see here, this is going to set the projection to the minimum value needed to avoid these collisions here. But it's also going to take into consideration this 50 thou that I added. So I'm going to go ahead and optimize this, and as we see here, if I show what's reachable now, we're able to reach every single one of these holes. And I'm going to bring this drill down here so we can see it. We also have our tool display. I can hide my tool, I can hide the holder, and I can also change the tool opacity as well as the preview opacity for each one of these reachable holes in this instance. But I'm simply going to go ahead and green check OK. Now there's also a new function within Mastercam 2022. We have generate toolpath. So before, whenever we close out of this, that first time run, it's automatically going to generate. Now I see my tool cutting through my part, and that's actually not what I want to do. I want to go back to my parameters here, and we're going to use this other function called automatic linking. And what automatic linking is going to do is take that tool, and it's going to make sure that we have the minimum clearance. It's going to act a lot like the way model chamfer works. But also, whenever we're in a 5-axis state, this automatic linking, one, you'll see that we have all incremental, being that it's 5-axis. And maybe let's give it a little bit of depth here, say 30 thousandths. But it's also going to take advantage of this safety zone here that we have. And you notice that I do have my predefined shape wrap of the part here. If we take a look at this, we can see that I have my additional offset and tolerance as well under my wrap function. And what Mastercam is going to do, it's going to use this feed right here, axis of rotation being at 5 axis. And I got a 500 inches a minute feed rate, as well as this generate toolpath. I'm simply going to green check OK. And you notice that the toolpath has been updated here. We have that 5 axis motion being done for our clearance. So now let's go ahead and back plot this here. And we're simply going to let this play. Let me slow it down before we play it. Okay, we'll speed it up just a little bit more. There we go. And as we can see here, we get that nice safety zone. And we're no longer getting a collision from our holder as well. So from here, everything looks good. I'm going to go ahead and save my part file. And we're good to go.